So guys, we are given the data which is about our watershed, which consists of three subbasins: subbasin 1, subbasin 2, subbasin 3, and two junction. At the subbasin 1 and subbasin 2 discharge at junction 1, and then this discharge goes through this reach to junction 2, and at the same time the discharge from the subbasin 3 is discharged at junction 2. We are given just the data dash. Subbasin 1 has 100% woods, and subbasin 2 has 30% woods, 50% meadows, and 20% urban area, and the total area is 40 miles square. Time of concentration is 1, or this is the data provided, and in this table we are given the rainfall data at the rain gauges, gauge 1, gauge 2, 3, because each subbasin has one rain gauge. From this table you can see that for we have determined the curve number for each of the subbasin depending upon the land use. For example, when the land use is woods and the hydrologic group we see, the curve number is 70. Similarly, for the meadows and the hydrologic group C, curve number is 71. And now we have calculated the cumulative curve number. We have just calculated it by multiplying the percent of area multiplied by curve number for each of the land use, and then dividing by 100, then we get cumulative curve number. Initial abstraction, the storage, which is calculated by formula 1000 over curve number minus 10, and then we calculate initial abstraction, which is 0.2 s, you can see from here, and also time of concentration, which will be used in modeling, which is equal to 0.6 time of concentration, and there that is 36 minutes. Now that's all the introduction about the calculation of parameters. Now we go for the modeling in HackHMS. Let's go. We have started HackHMS. We will create a new project, and the name we can save it with any name. I will like to start it with model, and the units we are using US customer unit. You can also use metric, but here we are using US customer. Then create, and in this basin model, first of all you have to create a component. Go to component and click on basin model manager. Click here to create a basin. Click on new. A basin is created, but mistakenly I have created two subbasins. I will like to delete one because it's already open. In this subbasin we have just ignore the last few things I have done. You have just you will just open the new model, and will create a basin by clicking on component, then basin model manager, and a basin will be created. Then click on this basin, and this window will be opened. Here you can see that white one, and these are the tools for the modeling. This one is subbasin. It is for reach, it is for reservoir, this is for junction, and the others. But here we need three subbasins. Select this tool and click here in this pane, the subbasin 1, subbasin 2, and subbasin 3. Here we have three subbasins, and now we need two junction. Then select the junction tool and click in between the screen and junction 1 and junction 2, and these junctions are created. Now we have to join the junction 1 with junction 2 through a reach. So we have to select the reach tool. Here it is selected, and now click junction 1 and then click on junction 2. A reach will be formed. You can see a reach is formed, and from junction 1 to junction 2. I just want to take it to the other edge. Now we have created all the components of the basin, but now what we need is to join all these components, because the subbasin 1 discharge at junction 1 and subbasin 2 also discharges at junction 1, and the total cumulative discharge goes to reach 1 and then ultimately at junction 2. At the same time, the subbasin 3 discharges at junction 2. So we have to connect all this by clicking. We will click on subbasin 1, just click, and this here in the extreme left side you can see here there is option of downstream. The downstream of subbasin 1 is junction 1, and now click on subbasin 2. And the downstream for subbasin 2 is junction 1, and for subbasin 3, here you can see at the same time the lines are formed joining subbasin 1 with junction 2 and subbasin 2 with junction 1, and the downstream for the subbasin 3 is junction 2, and you can see a line is formed. And now click on reach 1 for the junction 1. The junction 1 has downstream reach 1. Okay, now all these things are complete, and now we have to enter the values of parameters for each of the subbasin and junction. Now first of all, starting with the subbasin 1, the area of subbasin 1 is 50 miles square, and also for the base flow we have to select recession method. For the loss curve number we have calculated 70, you can see from Excel, and the initial abstraction 0.857 inches. For transformation, lag time is used, which is 36 minutes, and base flow it is provided that initial discharge is 5 q6, recession constant is 1, ratio is 0.1. And in this way I have entered all the parameter values in subbasin 1, and now you have to enter the values for subbasin 2. For subbasin 2, you can see that the area is 40 miles square, curve number is for 72.5, 40, area is 40 miles square, and then for loss curve number is 72.5, and initial abstraction is 0.759. just copy it from here and we can paste it. And for transformation, the lag time is also 36 minutes, but one thing I forgot is that I have to open the base flow method, select the which is recession. It is now selected. For base flow, now I have to enter the initial discharge 5, recession constant 1, ratio 0.1. and similarly for subbasin 3, the area is, we can see from here, area is 90 miles square, curve number is 75.5, and initial abstraction 0.649, and also the lag time is 72. We have to enter all these values. The area is 90 miles square, select the base flow to recession, and the loss parameter curve number is 75.5, and initial abstraction I have copied. Now I will paste it here, and the lag time is 72 minutes. Base flow, for the base flow initial value is 5, recession constant is 1, and the ratio is 0.1. and now I have entered all the values for subbasin 1, subbasin 2 and subbasin 3, but we have to enter the value for the reach, because in reach we are using the routing method as lag, and for the routing, lag is 1 hour which is provided, but 1 hour we know that it has 60 minutes, so we will write it in minutes. And now our basin is complete. But also one thing I forgot, that in reach, the reach one has downstream is of junction 2, so we will click on reach, and the downstream is junction 2, and now our basin model is complete. And after that we will click on component, and we will create a meteorological model. Click new, meteorological model 1, click here and specify, and this specified hydrograph, and just click here, and here are the gauges, just we have to create it. And now I have to enter time series. Click on component and then time series data manager, click here, new. Here I have selected precipitation gauges, gauge 1 is created, then I have to create gauge 2, because I have total 3 gauges, and then gauge 3. And here you can see that I have 3 gauges, gauge 1, gauge 2 and gauge 3. Time series data, click on time series data and then precipitation gauges. Here these are the gauges, gauge 1, gauge 2 and gauge 3. Gauge 1, for gauge 1 I have the manual entry, and also the data we have provided are cumulative inches. and the interval is 1 hour. Also now I will click here. I have to enter the starting time or end time. From the Excel file we can see that for the gauge 1 starting time is 6 am and ending is at 11 am, and these are the cumulative values. I will just copy this, Control C, and now uh, it is starting at sorry, and date should be any one you can select, but I will prefer to change it 6 and ending at 11. And in this table, sorry, but I have to change the this is 5 June because it should be the same date. I have it because it's the same day. It is starting at 6 am and ending at 11 am, so date should be same. 1st January 2000. I would like 2020 starting 6 am and ending at 1 January 2020 at 11 am. And in this table you have to enter the values. Just I am just pasting the values I have copied. So I think there is some issue and I have to copy again. Control C, copy these files, and I have to paste these values. All the values are pasted and now you can see the graph. Now you have to select the gauge and the date is 1 January 2020. Starting time for the gauge 2 is 6 am to 11 am. That is the same, but these values we have to copy these. Control C. The starting time is 6 ending at 11, and the date is 1 January and 2020. And here you can see the table, but I have to change the time interval, which is 1 hour, and also the units that are in cumulative inches. And in this table still there is some issue because I think there is issue with the time, because the time days should be the same, because it is the rain will be starting at the day in a particular day, because it is 1 January 2020 at 6 am and ending at 11 am. So I have also changed the time, and now I have to paste the values I have selected. I have pasted, and so you can see the graph. And similarly for the gauge 3, you have to select the cumulative inches, time interval as 1 hour, because I have given the reading after each hour. And now you have to change the dates. 1 January 2020, 1 January 2020. Ending date is also 1 January 2020, and the starting time I can see from here. The rain starts at 7 and ends at 12. Control C. Now 7 and 12. I have to paste all these values. Rain, I think that it starts at 7 and 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. At 12, 7 to 12. In the table, I think I have copied 9, 10, 11, 12. 6 values. There are also, but here I have calculated the less values. I have calculated to copy all the values again. Control C, copy, and then paste these values here, because one value is missing here. We paste, and here you can see all the values are set, and now you can see the graph. Now we have assigned we have entered the time series data for the rainfall, and now we have to assign the gauges for the meteorological model. Click here on the specified hydrograph, and also now I have to create go to component and then click on control specification manager and click new control 1. Also, the one thing you have to keep in mind, the control should have the same dates as the date for your rainfall event, and the time interval should be lesser than the interval for which you have given the rain gauge readings. The starting date is 1 January 2020. Starting time which is 6 am, and ending type it should be the long ending date is the same, but the ending time should be after 12 because the rain ends at 12, but the discharge will be going up to the time till 4, and the time interval should be, I think it's 15 is enough, but you can change for your. And also now I have to assign the rain gauges. I have to click on the meteorological model specified hydrograph, and first meteorological model, sorry, in this basin I have to select basin and include sub basin, yes, yes. And after that on specified hydrograph for each basin I have to assign rain gauge. Sub basin 1 has a gauge 1, sub basin 2 gauge 3, and sub basin 3 has gauge 3. Now all of my model is complete. Now just I have to do, and one thing is also, if there is some missing value we can set it to set to default on this meteorological. By clicking on this meteorological model here you can just replace missing, set to default. And now I have to create compute simulation run. Run it include run name is 1, it includes basin 2, meteorological model 1, control 1. And now I have to click on this run and right click on it and click on compute. Here you can see I have some error. You can see that this error is about run at 20 November 2020. Here you can see one thing, here you can see the simulated run and that time 1 January 2024, not even number for the intervals. Okay, there is some issue with the intervals, so I have to go to the control specification. I have to change some dates because after 12 it will be because after if we take the time in 24-hour format, and the rain starts at 6 and at 12, and after 12 for 1 PM means 13, but for 4 PM it means as 16. Here this was my fault, I was wrong, and now I have corrected it. Now I will click compute, and here you can see it is model have successfully run and all the things are correct. And now you can click on results, simulation run 1, and here you can see the global summary. In this table you can see for the sub-basin drainage area what is the peak discharge, which is 117 cubic feet per second, and the time for at which peak occurs, which is 11:15. And similarly you can see all the times at which the peak is observed, and also the peak discharge value. And if we click on each sub-basin we can see graph. We can see that graph for each sub-basin hydrograph, and also this line shows that this is the base flow, and there the legend is given at the below of this graph. And you can see the summary table. Summary table shows that peak discharge is 117 q6 at time which is observed at 11:15. And similarly for the sub-basin 2 you can see its graph summary table. One more thing you can see that the sub-basin 2 has discharge. The peak discharge for the sub-basin 2 is observed at 11:15, and also for sub-basin 1 the peak discharge is observed at 11:15. The time for the occurring of their peak is same. The reason is that the both of the sub-basins have same lag time. That's why peak is observed at same time, and the discharge of both the sub-basin 1 and sub-basin 2 will go to junction 1, and this discharge will be added. You can see that this is the discharge for the sub-basin 1, the dotted line, and this one is the sub-basin 2, and the solid line showing the result outflow at the junction 1. And you can see all these peaks are added, and here you can also see the summary table, and the total discharge become 1134.5 q6, and the time of peak is 11:15. And now you can see for the reach graph, and the dotted line shows the inflow, and the solid line shows the outflow. Here you can see the difference of the time between two peaks is 1 hour, because for the reach the lag time is 1 hour, therefore the peak is delayed for 1 hour. And here you can also see the summary, and we will go to subbasin 2. We can also see the graph, summary table. And for the junction 2 we can also see the values as graph. This is the graph at the outflow hydrograph at the junction 2, which is showing that this dotted line is showing and the outflow from the reach 1. This small dot line is showing the outflow from the subbasin 2, and also this is the total solid line is showing the total outflow at the junction 2. Here we can see from the summary table form, we can see that the total peak discharge is 4784 cusics, and the time at which the peak is observed is 12:30. And that's all from my side. If still you need something, I'm available. You can ask your queries. I will surely help.